Oh, evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. Well, we were hoping it was going to be an interesting one, but not for these reasons. Yes, we're back. Yes, myself, Mike, the Crazy Pilgrim. I've got Sophie, my daughter, sat next to me as well, who likes to watch and listen in. So, our League One season got off to a bit of the wrong start, let's just call it that. And I've got a fan here or a bit of paper to try and cool X down right now because I think the servers are burning overtime with all the noise and it's doom and gloom and Pallet, where's your money? You should be throwing it at everything. But we're going to, of course, take a calm and measured approach to everything. We're not all going to agree, I don't think, on everything tonight, but please get your comments in the chat. Before I start off with my main introduction, just quick hellos. So we got Gavin in tonight. Evening, Gavin.
Hello and good evening.
Got Andy, the Grumpy Loyal. Andy.
Good evening, Mike. How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, good. Carl, the Green Giant.
Hello, sir. Are you okay?
Yeah, and we've got Emma back in with us tonight, although the kids might play up, but fingers crossed. Hi, Emma.
Hi, guys. You all right?
And Harvey, who's said he needs to go to bed early tonight because he's got football tomorrow, so he might only be able to stay with us for half an hour. But a great panel. Evening, Harvey.
Good evening. How are we?
So I'm just going to get into a bit of the introduction, but keep the comments coming in. It's going to be interesting to get those from you and get your viewpoints. I'm sure it's going to be a mixed bag. But like I said, yes, welcome to the Block 9 podcast, where we are here to dissect that 3-1 defeat to Barnsley on the opening day of our League One campaign at Home Park. It was a gut punch, no doubt, with a soft disallowed goal from Caleb Watts early on that had us all excited. Sloppy defending, though, and some frustrating decisions from the officials that let Barnsley really capitalise. We saw an own goal from Weirdo, questionable passing from our experienced back line of Paulson, Sukes and Galloway, and a late error again in the defensive line that saw Callaghan seal our fate. But amidst the disappointment, there's plenty, in my opinion, and we'll hear from the panel, to fire us up for the season ahead. Caleb Watts was a revelation in the 9 role over Aseni, which surprised a lot of people. Bradley Ibrahim, for me, was another standout player, composed and shone throughout and getting stuck in with some great passes. And Amiichi, we can see the flair there. Brilliant free kick. I think overall he had a great game. So there is so many things, I think, to take from this, to look forward to of what's to come. The lads pressed hard as well in the second half after coming back. Was mentally a big challenge, but we've seen that from them. Flashes of brilliant passages of play and Home Park roaring as well, which was fantastic to hear. But yes, we lacked a bit of leadership as well, I think, at times, and a true front man. We're all after that number 9. But with Tom Cleverley's vision and some new signings on the horizon, fingers crossed, that's just the start. So, yeah, like I said, this is going to be an interesting one. So thank you for joining us, everybody, tonight as we unpack the highs, the lows, and what Argyle's future, I think, is going to look bright today. So, right, I'm just going to get stuck in. I'm conscious of the time that we've got with Harvey. So, guys, forgive me. I'm going to go to Harvey first. But
it's always a favourite, isn't it?
Harvey, give us...
Look at Harvey. He's the superstar. Hello, Harvey, with your thousands fans.
So I'll mute Gavin in a minute. So give us your, obviously, Harvey, appreciate you being on as well tonight. I know you can't make everything. And obviously your vlog, I'm guessing, I don't know if you've wrapped it up yet. I'm sure you probably have. So go check that out and when we finish tonight. But yeah, give us your view on where's your head at after that?
A complete car crash, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I think I put it in the group chat. We've got what Caleb Watts has come out and said in that post conference thing is half of it, I would say. I think the referee really let himself down and let Plymouth Argyle down as a club today with some of his decisions, but ultimately it was down to ourselves. I think, as you've said there, Mike, the back line today was just nowhere near it. I think Sukes, maybe him knocking his head early on gave himself a bit of a concussion, which possibly with his decisions. But we were certainly not on the mark, and I think we're certainly not quite yet at a level where we can compete in this league. Barnsley are good opposition, and you've got to give full credit to them. They exploited Argyle in areas which we struggled in. I think they always, attackingly anyways, they always found that spare man over wide, which we struggled with, and Argyle never really capitalised on the chances they had. So you can look at it as it's the first game and we still got plenty of games to go, or you can look at it in my eyes as, it's a worrying start to start the season on.
Yeah, I think the interesting one for me, and after sort of digesting it a bit tonight and preparing for the show, we do have our little slide deck, which we'll come to after we've spoken to everybody, but is the experienced players from the Championship let the side down today?
Yeah, 100%. I'd say so. I think Paulson definitely, having to go out with the captain's armband, he had to put on a performance today, and I think he'll know in himself that he's been at fault for a few errors today. I've seen a lot of people, as you said there on X or known as Twitter and online in general, already slating the goalkeeper, but I don't think the goalkeeper done much wrong today as a goalkeeper. I think his distribution was poor. I think you could say poor is a fair analysis of it, but I think he definitely needed help from Paulson and Stooks today in front of him, and he didn't get that.
No, I think I still believe there's a lot to take out of this. Sat next to the person, I forget his name. That's terrible because I haven't seen him for months and only know him at the games. But we both got up and said we didn't feel that was Andy. What was that, Gav?
He said it was Andy. Goes, it was me, Mike.
No. I try and forget Andy. I mean, having to deal with him during the week, let alone at the games. But I think. Harvey, there was some really good passages of play. The second half they came out and that was a big test for me. And we saw some brilliant passages, and I think it was just a shame that mistakes again, allowed them to sort of seal it. But there is those green shoots, or call it what you will, that sort of for me, and even Caleb Watts said in the post match that we are going to trouble some teams this season. That's for sure. Just got to cut out those mistakes.
Yeah, 100%. I think you can see the quality in what we've got in the squad in patches. But I think, again, I'm not really a negative person. I don't really look at it as a negative in everything. But I think to be in a situation of 2-1 down with the opposition to have 10 men at home, I think you've got to get something from the game. That's a non-negotiable. And I think we just lacked that bit of clinicality, that bit of composure in the final third, whether that's because we're missing a number 9 or whether that's we're missing someone that's got a more creative play style about them, maybe dropping Watts into the 10, which he has said he preferred, and then having that number 9 who we can guarantee is going to take 1, 2 or 3 chances a game. You don't know, but we don't know what's around the corner. We know that we're looking for players, and we hopefully come the end of the season we don't rely on this result that's just gone.
No, I'm going to bring Emma into the fold now as well, just in case, conscious of little ones that we all some of us have to manage. There's a few factors for me, Emma, going into this game. Obviously, we have got a small squad. We all know that. And we're trying to fill some or get some more players in. But obviously, you've got a starting 11 that probably isn't what he would have gone with. And you've got obviously Plagueis, who looks like he's going to have an operation, which could leave him out for a bit. Obviously, Hazard, we knew about. You got Pepple, who was going to be a hit and miss anyway. Looks like he'll be back, though, for the next game. So there's a few sort of changes there where it's like, right, okay, we've got to mix things up again, and they've got to get out there and play. And also from Barnsley's side, you've got a team that hasn't seen any real changes recently, and so a team that know how they need to play, know how each other thinks, and you could see that in the game as well. So they really took advantage of that. When the disallowed goal came, our heads dropped a bit. Silly own goal, our heads dropped again. But Barnsley did open us up and did take advantage of those situations.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, obviously having the small squad, we were none of us really knew what the team sheet was going to look like, and I think it was a few surprises when we saw it come up. You're wondering where everybody's playing to start with. I mean, Caleb Watts was amazing, wasn't he, up front? He was all over the place. But like you said, Barnsley are obviously a bit more balanced than we are. They know how to play with each other, and really, we only had like 4, I think, that had started last year or last season for us. though they have been doing pre-season, but as we know, pre-season doesn't always equate to league matches, does it? So
no. So is there anything like, sort of I'm not clutching in any way at the positives. I actually did not leave. It was just one of those games. The first game of the season can always be like that, but there's definitely those sort of green shoots. There's things to look forward to that I think once then we cut out those mistakes, I think we're going to see some really exciting football and we're going to score some goals.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the first 20 minutes, I thought, oh my God, like we're all over the place. Like everybody was rushing around. It seemed a little bit frantic at times. Like I said, Caleb Watts was everywhere. Amici was getting involved with everything. We were on the front foot. And when we scored that goal, I was like, oh my God, like this is what we want to play. This is how we want to play. But I did feel like we got tired quite quickly. Definitely in the second half, Barley Mumba was kind of walking about at times, just looked absolutely exhausted. So I don't think we can kind of play with that intensity all the time. Like that's just not going to happen, is it? You can't play on the front foot all the time. And I think, like you said, heads went down when that goal was disallowed. I've had a look at it a couple of times, and I think maybe Watts was just a bit stronger. I mean, some of us in the group chat said that it did look like he pulled the guy down, but I think it was soft, really. And the linesman on the Mayflower side, which is where I sit, oh my God, he was, pretty bad.
Well, he didn't award it though, did he? He didn't award it though, did he? I don't believe.
Yeah, he flagged. Yeah.
He flagged it.
I'm watching the replay. My mistake then. Sorry, I didn't see him.
We thought he flagged offside, which we obviously we were sure it wasn't offside because he'd cut it back. So we were like, no, that's not right. And then it flashed up on the Argyle Twitter that it was given for a foul before he struck the ball, and we hadn't seen that at all. But looking back at it, I mean, it could be given. But then the second half, when the keeper came out, that could be given as a foul as well. Like it should have been given as a foul if the first one was given. So I don't know. I think the referee was getting a lot of stick from both sets of fans, and he kind of caved a little bit. Like he was taking on
spot on. Yeah.
What the crowd was saying, didn't really know when to make a decision. Obviously, everything was very hostile. Then they had that scrap in the middle, so that he kind of lost the discipline as well. When he gave the red card, he forgot that he'd given the original yellow card, and then like went back and looked and was like, "Oh, actually, you need to have a red." So I just feel like it was really disorganized, and obviously everybody was very emotional about it, weren't they? The crowd. I mean, that's when we started playing really well, actually, when the crowd were getting a bit frantic and getting on top of the ref. But I think it showed like how young our team is. Obviously, you've only got Powson and kind of Joey that are like over 30. I think everybody else is like very young, inexperienced, I guess. But yeah, some of the championship players, like you said, Powson, I didn't think was really captain as such. Like he didn't do an awful lot of talking. I didn't see him going up to the ref. Or maybe twice I think he spoke to the ref.
Yeah.
And he didn't really seem to be bossing that back line. And I was just like, is he being a captain? As soon as Joe came on, he just gave him the armband. It was almost like he gave in, like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I think naturally maybe Pleggy would be the other captain if Joe isn't on.
So he was definitely missed today. Gav, I'm going to come to you now. Let's just switch. I've left the chat overlay on. I've never put it on before. I wanted just to see how it looked, so people can see the comments. Sorry, so if you're coming in, I will come to a few where I can. Well, to be fair, there's so many. That's why I thought I'd bring them up on the screen. There's a lot of Gavin. Obviously, you were watching it from the Mayflower side as well, and I think, obviously digested a lot in the hospitality at the end. I mean, there's a lot of people in here saying in the chat, and even in everybody, I will try and read out some of your names, but, Zoo Corner, PFC King, Just a Jana, there's a few, and Voodoo's in tonight as well. Good to see you, Voodoo. It's almost like I'm just like not standing by the fact that it's going to be bad going forward. It's just one of those games where number of circumstances and situations, really cost us basic errors and basic mistakes. But how did you see it from your side?
So apart from having three of the Keystone Cops at two centre halves and one in goal, and the midfield was like Weirdo had a stinker. I thought we were okay, but I think one of the major concerns, looking at it from the gods, is Ashby De La Zouche, as I've renamed him after today, doesn't command his box. So there's no talking. 2 or 3 times in the second half, certainly, and in the first half, the balls come up for their goal. I would imagine Hazard and certainly Cooper, going back to old times, would have come and claimed that, or would have said get rid. The first goal that comes over, there's seriously no communication because Werdu thinks he's playing in the garden and smashes it in the bottom corner for an own goal. All they've got to do is one shout of leave it.
Yeah,
it falls aimlessly off the pitch. We have a goal kick and we get up the other end. One of the comments earlier, I think I saw on Twitter was, have Palsson and Such ever played together before? Didn't look like it today, did it?
No.
Like they both shook hands at 12 o'clock and said, "Nice to meet you," and we're playing with each other today. Let's see how we go. If just putting it to the other side of the coin, when we had a certain Mr. Katic and certain Mr. Televirov last year, they literally met each other on the Friday, played on the Saturday, and were far more cohesive than those two, which is disappointing. I said before the game, so Roger sits behind me, the ex-club statistician who's been there for 35, 40 years. He hasn't seen a game yet. Oh, we're going to dominate midfield today, Rod. Watch this. Oh, where do? God, Ibrahim smashing it. And we were non-existent. That we were outplayed in midfield for long periods.
Gavin, sorry, just to come in. I think the start of the game, and we have got the video of the disallowed goal, and I'll come to it once we've gone through everybody. But we actually started really well, and there was a lot of energy, wasn't there? That the play, the ball from Ibrahim to Amieci, to the ball into the box to Watts, on the break, it was brilliant.
We played some beautiful stuff at times. I'm not sitting here. I am Mr. Glass half full, and I think actually, Caleb Watts, before he did his presser, came in to hospitality and pretty much echoed what he said afterwards. It seems like the team's still very confident, and so they should be. In fairness, I actually think some of the patterns of play today were brilliant. We played some really nice sort of flowing football. We got wide, we got crosses in the box. The first goal was horrific in terms of the disallowed one. If that's a foul, then we might as well give up now. He's 6'5" and he's gone over with a gust of wind, basically. I think Caleb Roberts, as he said in hospitality, I'm 5'8" standing on tippy toes. How can I push over by touching someone's shirt in the box? But that it is what it is. I think we score then. We've got a really nice bit of momentum. The ground was very loud, I thought, early doors, and I think that would have catapulted us on and we'd have been out of sight. But, if my auntie had some danglies, she'd be my uncle. We didn't get that goal, and we switch off at the other end, and all of a sudden on goal, and we're behind the 8 ball. Midfield, I don't think we're going to play as badly as that again, if I'll be honest. And I think we probably need some reinforcements in the back line. Thought Powson's communication, actually, just to disagree with a couple of others, thought was okay. But we just didn't. There was no ferocity. Like, you remember, like last year, keep harping back, but Katic and Such, they were so commanding. They come out and smash that ball out the box. There was never any fear. Set pieces, you kind of sat back with your arms crossed going, we're clearing this now. Corners and free kicks. Today, you're back to sort of all but Ryan Lowe territory of, oh no, we've conceded a corner. Are we going to concede a goal? It didn't feel like those two centre halves were commanding the box. And Powson's normally very good at that, in fairness. Such is okay, but Powson's normally, that's one of his strengths. I think Steve from our group earlier said probably we should, if we had these teams available, play a back 3. I think that's probably right today, but that goes against the sort of makeup of the team. But I don't think you can play Powson in a back 4. I think he has to play in the middle of a back 3.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. Yes, some good points. I do want to just bring it up again. So I just posted it just now. Barnsley fan in Chef Red's evening. Thank you for coming in, mate. The opposition were a better team. I think there's parts of where, actually, in fairness, I can see your reaction there, Gav. I'll come back to you in a second on it. But they did that when our heads dropped after that goal was disallowed. We seemed to just let ourselves get too frustrated, and our composure and our concentration went. And I thought, in that first half, especially, the passing and movement from Barnsley was really good and opened us up and allowed them to sort of create some chances. So, sort of that's how I sort of saw bits of the game with them, to not take credit away. But the sort of, obviously, the playing the game and delayed tactics and the players going down, you don't like to see it. But as we always say, Gavin, if it was us in that position to a degree away from home, you'd do it.
Oh, look at Cardiff last year. I think they wasted about 37 minutes. that you're going to come away from home. We're a relegated side. We're allegedly a bigger side in the division, which I think we are. You're going to go up, but certainly with 10 men, then you're going to start milking it, aren't you? Let's be candid. I don't think the referee controlled the game very well. And there was a lot of time wasted and he let them get away with that. I thought the home park crowd did as much as they can to turn him in the second half. And I think we probably did then. I think we got a bit more rub of the green, unless maybe Nance or someone in the tunnel at half time had a little word. But we were just victims of our own demise, really. Or the 3 goals, you could say, that's why I started off with the Keystone Cops analogy. The 3 goals were architects of our absolute own downfall. And that's why I think TC will be absolutely livid tonight, because on another day, you don't have, weirdly doesn't slot it in the bottom corner. He lets it run out because there's better comms in defence. Powelson sticks it in Rose Head and doesn't let it bounce around the box like it's some kind of under-11s game. And Such and Mumba don't set up one of their players beautifully and then sit and watch him score. So those are the 3 errors. Yes, Ashby De La Zeus did make a good save in the second half. I thought he got done well. And that was a good confidence builder back. But I can't see us playing that badly again defensively. If we do, I think there'll be heads rolling and there'll be a few people on the transfer list.
Yeah, I'm going to come to Andy next, but before I do, there seems to be a lot. Hence, pitting the chat helps actually putting it on the screen. But there's Alan Nixon is supposedly reporting that Taylor is going to Blackpool and is choosing Blackpool over us. I think cleverly Andy just touch up on this was saying in the press post-match press conference that and he gave it credit to Tom and David. We're doing everything we can. It's got to be work on both sides though, and it felt like it was more a case of what is Taylor going to do rather than us. The money is there. That's not the issue, but it looks like he potentially, according to Alan Nixon, we'll soon see soon enough, he's going to choose Blackpool over Argyle. Andy.
Yeah, disappointing if that's the case, but you got to realise that a lot of clubs are after strikers at this time. Luton just bought in, was it Yates from Swansea? They bought him in last night, and I think he played, or he might even play, but they got him in.
He didn't play, no, he was brought onto the pitch.
But they've got money, they've got money to spend, and it's taken them that long to get a striker in. So it's going to take us the same, if not longer, to get a striker in, because Cleverly wants a player in who's going to play for the club for a start and want to sort of invest in what he's trying to achieve down there. It's very difficult because every club's after a striker. And
actually, just to add to it, Andy, I said it last night on X late when I was doing some stuff that the Matt Bloomfield, the Luton manager. Now, with everybody that was, we may well touch upon the fans forum towards the end here, depending on how long we're going in. If not, we'll leave it for next Thursday's live lounge. But it's not for the fact that we're not trying to find someone, and it's not the money that's the issue. But Matt Bloomfield said that they had enough of a situation. Sorry, Gavin, someone's moving the microphone somewhere. I can hear. There's enough. They spent the whole of the summer, put my teeth back in, trying to find the right striker. They announced that striker before their match last night in Jerry Yates. This is a club that's got parachute payments still and the money to then do that. So it's not just about splashing the cash. When, in my opinion, and I know a few of the members on here agree, panel on here agree, but it isn't just that. So look, if we lose Taylor, then we have to just go back to whatever options there are. But yeah, Andy, am I fair to say that you were quite sort of frustrated come the end of the game in terms of polar opposites? I was disappointed, folks. I wasn't happy with the fact that the way we lost, but sort of give us your thoughts now then, and how since you reflected on the game.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. We've touched on the goals already. Defensive errors, miscommunication. I think there's a lot of miscommunication there in a lot of places. Hammond could have come for the first goal, didn't. There was a miscommunication between 2 players. One of our players put it in the back of the net. We know the second goal. I thought there was a push on Paulson there on the edge of the box before the ball was released for the strike, which also took a deflection, which Hammond could have saved if it had been a direct hit, but it took a deflection on the way through. So we never know. I think the last goal was comical, wasn't it? Really, You know, 2 players going for the same ball. Again,
miscommunication. That communication again.
Yeah, it's frustration because towards the end of last season we had that communication there with Katic and Talyarov. So it's just a case of poor communication from the back. I don't think Hammond's got that sort of presence in the box yet. His confidence would have been done by that. I thought we're very unfortunate with this disallowed goal, but you see was that their third goal and the second goal they scored. It was like there's a push on Paulson. So if there's a push on Paulson there, and then why are they getting away with it down the other end? And a free kick against us. It's just very frustrating. I mean, take nothing away from Barnsley; they were a good side. That's not the case. We sort of matched them for most of the game, but there were times where we just couldn't compete in the final third.
Yeah. Oh, someone's at someone's doorbell. Don't know who that is.
Ding dong.
I hope it's the postcode lottery.
Oh, Kenneth Williams coming there.
Imagine that. Someone's knocking at your door. Right, I'll stop there. Sorry, folks.
Number 9.
A few people I could see just coming that are regulars to the show as well. Ben Collins, evening mate. Accidental Pilgrim. Just a Jana we got in. I know we got Zoo Corner in. There's a few new names. Graham, who's not new, but Evening Graham is in as well. I can see Steve is in the chat as well. We've got Liam, PAFC King. There's a few in here that we see a lot of, a couple of new ones, which is great. So thank you all for coming in. The new strikers at the door as Truth Plim. Don't recognize.
No, it was Amazon. It was Amazon. Sorry, guys.
Of course it is. It's always Amazon, isn't it? Any time of the day. Andy, would sort of obviously, with me saying at the end that look, I'm not disappointed. It's one game you write off. Caleb Watts said in the post match that the lads are really frustrated and disappointed. We'll soon see delivery. We'll soon see in the next game, obviously away. But where did you see any positives, if you did find any in amongst the frustration that you felt?
Mate, I saw lots of positives. I thought Bradley Ibrahim was great in the midfield at times. All right, he made a couple of mistakes, but he was good playing the ball forward. I thought Amechi was great on the right side for us. There's lots of positives. Caleb Watts stepped up into a number 9 role, which he could play,
potentially,
and did very well there. So there was lots of positives there. I'm not going to say there weren't, because there were, and there were some lovely attacking football, ball going across the box, no one on the end of it.
I'll give you, Andy, I'll give you this comment from Spencer, who's on the tag in the chat as Plymouth Argyle way. Spencer was the little lad that came, that stood up and asked a couple of questions in the forum and delivered those questions superbly. Whatever's been said, as it always is afterwards on the socials, which is just shocking. But because there's always, of course, the keyboard warriors are prepared to go there and stand up and ask the question. We tried to get Carl up, but he just really didn't want to ask the question. He was too embarrassed. But the keeper, he's mentioned about the keeper, the time wasting side, and I thought I'd pick that one back up. They're not allowed to obviously do too much of that now, but they won't dive on the ball. But what he was doing, their keeper, is sort of taking it and rolling it back to the corner of his box. So they'll find different ways to time waste, won't they?
Yeah, and that's not that sniper in the stand who shot him in the leg, and he had to go down for like 5 minutes, with cramp, whatever that was. You're going to get it all the time, and I think the officials are going to stamp on that. Not stamp on the player, but stamp on that attitude, that sort of the time wasting. It's it frustrated us, and the crowd got on the backs, and rightly so, and it made for a really frustrating game. I mean, we're all going to do it. We'd do it away if we were away. We'd do it exactly the same, so we can't complain. But there was a lot of it going on.
Yeah, I'm going to come to Carl now. Thanks, Andy. Carl, I just want to, obviously, yes, give your thoughts, please. But I also want to touch upon with you the goal. I mean, we will come on to stats and player ratings and stuff in a minute in the slide deck, folks. But if I just sort of ask you your initial thoughts, and then I want to pick up the goal with you, because I think that is obviously worthy of touching up on, certainly.
Yeah, as Ben put in the chat earlier, it was a really entertaining game, something that we haven't seen for a long time. Obviously, we all know what Miron ball was all about. Lots of long balls, lots of long passes, and we didn't get on the deck very often. So physically, watching the game was a lot more entertaining. It was exciting. Obviously, we started the game quite well. And that goal was, I was celebrating. I didn't even know it was disallowed until I had a tap on my shoulder. I didn't see the linesman flag unless it was late, but I don't know how he saw it. Like Voodoo said earlier, how he can see from that distance, I don't know. Yeah. And as Gavin said, the guy's like 6'4", 6'5". Caleb Watts is half his size. They were both pulling each other's shirts and jostling for the ball. Defenders are going to do that anyway. I think he brushed him off quite well. He went down like a sack of spuds. There was not much in it at all, and to chalk off the goal for something as pathetic as that was pretty poor. And I think if that stood, it'd be a completely different game. And I think he probably would have gone on and won it because the crowd were up for it. I thought the atmosphere was really decent. It was a shame to kind of how it went from there. Obviously poor defensively, like we've all said. But there's still lots of positives there, but obviously we're clearly lacking in the key areas, aren't we?
Yeah, so the goal for me, I want to actually talk about the goal. And I think that we came out with that energy in the second half. Like I said, mentally it was a big test. You got a lot of young players. The more experienced ones should be used to it. Sometimes the younger ones can just brush it off really quickly and just get on with it. And we came out and we were on the front foot. We started to press properly, which actually in the second half seemed to just disappear completely, in that half. But, we obviously got the free kick that was sort of dummied. Is that probably not the right word? But obviously we didn't cross the ball in. And let's not forget, we had quite a short team. We have quite a short team in comparison to Barnsley. So the way that the ball was played, I forget who took the free kick and passed it. I think it went to Amiechi from recollection without watching back. We'll see in a minute. Who put the ball in, and Paulson, for all the criticism he took, obviously got up there in the box and flicked it on. And then Caleb Watts managed to, I think, with his back to goal, sort of get the ball, turn and shoot and knock it in. That was what was exciting. We could see it in the first half with his disallowed one. We could see some of the other attacking play where we created chances. We had the header over as well in that second half. There are those really exciting signs that we're playing some brilliant football. We're going to look forward to seeing some brilliant passages of play.
Yeah, going forward, I thought all game we were quite promising, quick, skillful. Like you said about Watts, how he turned and shot at goal. He turned really well, probably because he's quite a small lad, but yeah, he turns on the spin quite well, and great finish. He could have got 2 or 3 goals today quite easily. And he really put himself up there for a small lad. He held the ball up quite well. He was G'ing the crowd up. He was really up for it. And obviously I'd prefer to see him back as a number 10, like Gavin said. That's where he wants to play. I think once we do, if we ever get a striker in at this rate, I think we'll see a completely different, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was just asking the private chat about Spencer's comment there as well on the keepers. So while you got yourself lost, I'll throw this one at you for a second. So can I just ask another question? He says, you don't need to answer straight away, but I've decided to. But at the forum, he asked about Zach Baker, about going on loan and stuff like that, which is what Fox said could happen. I think there's going to be a lot of frustrations around Hammond with the style of play today. There is an element of where some managers don't want their keepers to come out off their line. That has happened before, and that could have been it. When we show the reel in a second of the goals, Weirdo just slots home a brilliant, superb shot just in the wrong goal. The sort of the keeper coming out for that, I think when you watch a replay could be debatable. But yeah, you would not want to loan out Zach Baker now not saying there is, because he might turn it around. He did, as Gavin pointed out, pulled off a really great save, which stopped them then going 3-1 up. But yeah, you wouldn't put Zach Baker out on loan for the minute, would you, Carl?
Not yet, not until Conor Hazard comes back. Obviously, when Hazard's back, he's going to be straight back in the team. There's no disrespect to Hammond, but I don't think he's anywhere near number 1 quality. He's probably a solid number 2 when he's needed. But yeah, I would wait until Hazard is back. Definitely send Zach Baker out, but he needs to go to a decent level, kind of League 2 or Conference, kind of a Truro or even a Torquay. But sending him to Tavistock or St. Budo or Liscard's not going to do us any favours. He needs a decent level for for his qualities now. And was he third year professional now or second year professional? He needs to be at a good level. And I don't think Ashby Hammond did that bad today, to be honest. I think that save in the second half was a brilliant save. I did think when the Barnsley striker was out on goal, it was going to be another one. But no, I'll give him his credit. It was a solid save. His distribution, like Harvey said, isn't brilliant, but I didn't think he was really at fault for any of the goals, to be fair. And that's what I was worried about before kickoff, about how he would be in the game today. But I thought he was okay. It was the defensive four at the back that were poor and probably showed him up more than what was needed, really.
Yeah. So, right, you've heard from everybody there. Like I said, it's sort of a mixed reaction, somber, I think, from everyone, because we were all excited for the season ahead. And as Tom cleverly said himself this week, obviously the home games, we know that, you've got to win those games, and to start it off with a defeat like that is frustrating. But hopefully we can just deal with that. It's happened early. We iron it out and move on. So I'm just going to go. Let me just switch to. Harvey, are you time-wise? Is it bedtime yet? Or are you still?
That is bedtime.
I can stay on for another 10, 15. I can stay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just.
Mum said you're all right. 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Mum's going to put your electric blanket on. It's all right, mate.
Give us a nudge in
I've got a
the
kettle on downstairs, so
yeah. Give us a nudge in the private chat because then what I'll do is I'll just go to you to say your final piece.
You haven't got an Alexa kettle as well, have you? Like Gavin's got.
No, but that sounds quite good. I want one of them.
So there you go. Yeah, Gavin, pick up with Gavin afterwards. He can tell you what he
say it because it'll go on. There's no water in it.
Yeah. So here we go. So yes, we have got a little slide deck. I thought we couldn't do a show without one, even though we're quite obviously short window between the game finishing and coming on. Obviously, yes, we are in our new slot this evening, folks, of 8:30 as a start on a Saturday night. Done deliberately just to provide a bit more of a post-match reaction that's a bit more raw, like you're seeing. Let me just mute Carl as he's turned off his video, but not his audio. So whatever he's doing in the background, I just can't get the staff, folks. So obviously we are on tonight, so then you can enjoy the likes of Argyle live fully as well tomorrow evening. So we've got the slide deck going for you. So we're going to touch upon a little bit. Obviously, we'll be repeating a couple of things with a bit more context, but we'll show you the lineup that was, the player ratings. Care of borrowed that from FOTMob. I've got the videos, which I'll show the highlights reel, which I'll probably come to straight after the lineup piece. And then also, we have the all-important 24-25 season signed shirt. Gavin, have you got it next to you just to hold up? So let's just quickly pop him on the big screen. He has got the shirt there. With the tag still on, so they get given that at the end of their sponsorship for Diamond. So it is not worn in there. So we have got the winner for that competition entry, which we'll come on to at the end. So keep your eyes peeled to see if it's you. Keep your comments coming in. And also, if you can, retweet the show for us. That always helps. And of course, follow our Block 9 accounts. And if you want to follow our personal ones, then please do. It all helps. And I've got some merchandise news. I don't think Andy Price is watching us tonight, but he is going to get the first order of the new mug, or one of the new mug designs, but I'll show you that a little bit later. So to start off, obviously the match result we know. Sarpong Weirdo with his own goal, Phillips on 30 minutes, Keeler Dunn on 87, and Shepherd being the red card on 64 minutes, and Watts getting his goal on 50. So the lineup, thank you, Gavin, for pulling these little things together for the show. Do you want to just summarize that quickly, Gavin, before I go into the highlights?
David Fox came into Club Argyle and announced the team, and then we all looked at each other and went, and then about 2 minutes later, because I think it went early on socials this week, at about 5-2, everyone was like, and then it was like, so Gaz was like, do you want to tell us how you line up? And he was like, it's 4-4-2. We were like, we've not played 4-4-2 all pre-season, thanks. And that's the lineup. Yeah, there you go. So back four, as we've seen, of which I think the three middle ones were not particularly brilliant. I thought Galloway was a bit quiet, but I don't think he did anything wrong. Shonello, I thought, had a good game, actually. Two holding midfielders, Bally and Xavier on the outside, and and then we got 2 midfielders up top. So that's how we lined up. I don't think anyone. I was sort of trying to tweet out at him was like, oh, surely Xavier's going to play up on his own as a false 9. I was like, no, we're playing this. Oh, we'll do this. I was like, David Fox has just told us on the stage this is the lineup. So I think it caught everyone with their pants down, didn't it? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But let's look. I tell you what, let's go to the highlights reel. I'm just going to hide the chat overlay just for those that are watching on small devices. So the first one up, because weirdly, the Sky Sports one that I clicked didn't start with the disallowed goal. So I'm going to start with that now so you can see it in its full flow.
It's too far away for me, Josh.
Yeah, I think it's a foul. It's just a foul in the middle. Yeah, that's the reason.
So he does tug his shirt. And
the joy was short-lived.
Probably a bit too. Oh, hang on.
Stop there. But what I don't understand is if you look over the shoulder of Caleb as he's celebrating, their lino goes like that.
Yeah,
well, surely that's an affirmative. The goal was good, isn't it? Or is that affirmative? They saw a push.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you look at the front far left there, obviously attacking goal. You got Roberts and the defender, sort of like at arm's length with each other, and you do see Roberts pull his shirt. But an experienced centre back, he's going to go down if he's going to get that. So watch for that when I hit play, and also see what the linesman flag does. So there's the pull. Linesman flag's down. Goal goes in.
Yeah, I think it's a foul. It's just
So I know, Emma, you said that he did flag. I didn't see his flag. Did anybody see his flag?
Come on.
No, he did it. He did it after. So like the ref signalled and he pointed to the goal, and we were like, "Is he giving a goal kick?"
No,
and then the linesman puts his flag up and almost agrees with him, but I don't think he actually ever saw it. So then we were giving him loads of stick because we thought he'd flagged offside, and we were like, "There's no way it's offside," because he cut it back. Obviously, we knew that he'd cut it back. It wasn't offside, but then we couldn't understand why it hadn't been given if it wasn't offside. And then it's, as I said, the Argyle account tweeted that it had been given because of a foul. So honestly, we didn't know why it hadn't been given. We just couldn't work it out. So yeah, I think the linesman just went in line with the ref, but I don't think he saw it, to be honest.
A bit like everybody, they all had an off day today. Right, we'll go to the full match highlights, the highlights care of Sky Sports. So look at this. Look,
all the way to the back.
That is not acceptable. All
it's
around
an absolute
me,
disaster. It was a teasing delivery from Luca Cole.
Do not go and do that.
And Wiradou
just
gets it all wrong.
Let it go.
Yeah, why did he not leave it?
Just let it go.
There's another chance instead for the Pilgrims to try and plunder.
Watts
Watts denied one already.
That's
another goal. Keeper got a touch on it, and it was an important one from Cooper to keep it out. Just found that narrow channel towards goal, and Caleb Watts.
Going right in the corner.
Yeah.
There's a calamity at the back here. It's well struck. Oh, a beautiful finish by Phillips.
Oh, it was on Sornola. How on Sornola?
A disaster defensively for Plymouth.
It's one hell of a strike.
It was, yeah. This is a good angle, and it goes. Hammond's got no chance with this. Because the power, it was right in front of where Andy and I sit, and it just flew into the net. But I even thought maybe he had too much time on it.
Plymouth Argyle,
stand a chance.
And Adam Phillips just saw that drop towards him and fires the clean.
Olsen, was it?
So you've
got on the deck there, look on the left.
So Galloway, Poulsen, and Sooks in line. Yeah, Sorinola on the deck.
Sorinola gets tugged over, and that's what TC was talking about, saying if it happens at one end, it surely happens at the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. I'll roll them on.
To double the Barnsley advantage.
It's a good save.
This is the header, wasn't it?
Such with a lovely ball in and a fine save by Cooper to keep it out.
Great save.
I mean, we might need a number 9, but I'm not too disappointed about leaving Caleb Watts in that position.
No,
I think it was Watts.
Playing him as a 10 who can run those late runs and those late channels is superb.
Yeah.
Got the head onto it.
Yeah.
He's looked really lively leading the attack today for Plymouth Argyle.
Oh, there's the free kick. No, that's not the one. Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Into the box.
Sorry,
And others having to deal with the danger, and it's turned in from close range by Watts. Wonderful piece of control on the chest, and Caleb Watts finally gets his goal. And that one will not be chalked out this afternoon.
Yeah.
Amechi.
Handball.
How did that come off an arm of Shepherd?
Hang on, I'm just going to step it back. Was he in the
Wonderful
box?
piece of
Hang
control on the
Just stepped
chest,
it
and
back.
Caleb Watts finally gets his goal.
Yeah.
And that one will not be chalked out this
Well, I pulled
afternoon.
it when he handballed it.
Amechi.
Oh, he was outside.
How did that come off an arm of
It's
Shepherd?
borderline, isn't it? Either way.
Referee looked like he's in a decent
Doesn't do
spot
much
to
about
have a
it.
good view of that.
And this was so.
Is he
Emma,
coming
you were
back?
saying this was a second yellow,
Is that a second
effectively,
yellow
yeah?
card for
Attempt.
Jack
Yeah, I
Shepherd?
think
he
the
didn't
ref had
realise,
to
did he?
check, didn't he?
Was it inside the box as well?
Inside as well, isn't it?
Was it definitely inside?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna,
And there
I'll step it back a
is
little
that
bit.
second yellow card
Is
for
it-
Jack
That
Shepherd.
last view looks like it's inside.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
His feet,
inside.
his feet
Yeah.
are
He's
outside.
outside.
Hands
Yeah.
inside.
it's hand-
In, out. You're shaking all about. Right, anyway.
And there it is. A second
They
bookable
should be
offence. He
playing
was
against nine,
booked
really.
after that coming together with Wiradou.
What bugged me about this is that he walked.
Gives away
half the
possession
pitch.
needlessly.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
runners to the right. If Keeler Dunn wants to
Yeah.
use this
Well,
Phillips
this
as the
is-
intended target, it's going to take a kind
Well, that's
ricochet
the
though.
save, yeah.
Fine save by Ashby
Belarus
Hammond
done really well
to
there.
keep out the effort. Blam with the opportunity, the youngster, to finish this game off.
Great save.
Yeah. And here's the mistake. So it looks like from this angle that it was Mumba, but I think it's actually Zooks. that
Mumba
hits
and
the
Zooks.
ball.
Here's
Miscommunication
opportunity
again.
suddenly here.
Someone's got a
Bit of good
shout.
fortune for
It
Keeler
actually, I
Dunn.
think it ricochets off
Good
both
night.
ends, so it kind
Yeah,
of
you
hits
see it in a
one
second.
and
The
hits the
travelling
Exit
other.
supporters
into the back
celebrate
of Bally, and
because
then
it
it
looks
falls
like
into the
it's going to be a rather comfortable
look.
5-hour journey home back.
There you go. So Zooks heads it. Bally's
Suits heads it into the back of Bally, and then it just runs on and perfectly timed.
It just ricocheted. I don't think they couldn't do anything, but one of them should have been shouting for that, surely.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
100%.
South Yorkshire.
Yeah,
Davis Keeler Dunn back in the goals once again, as he was last season.
And there you go. That's the end of that. So yeah, you could see a couple of the chances we had. You know, Watts with the majority of them. Amiachi's free kick got skimmed past the post, not shown as well. At that time when you just sort of thought, cool, you just felt the goal was coming. The crowd were just so loud at that point leading up to the foul, the red card. But yes.
I just think you take a look at those 3 goals, right? Can you actually blame Hammond for any of those goals?
Yeah, you can the own goal because it should be a communication that says leave it.
Yeah.
He's got the best view in the
Okay,
ground.
First goal, but I think the other 2 goals you
Oh
can.
no, the volley is through
Ollie's
a bodies and it's sweet as a nut.
Yeah.
The third one's just well placed. It was so the first one directly because he's not communicating well enough. I don't think with the centre half just to say leave it. That's all he's got to say.
Yeah.
And then weirdly just withdraws his foot and it rolls aimlessly into a goal kick.
Yeah. Just because Harvey, it's his mum's just shouting to him it's bedtime for his football.
But his bath's been run, bubbles are there, rubber duckies come in.
So you'll be going away to Bolton, Harv. I'm guessing you're planning to do every game again, which is fantastic. So yeah, give us some final thoughts and yeah, what you're hoping to see. Those big changes ready for that next game.
Well, it feels like a bit of a double whammy today. Obviously losing the first day, and obviously now finding out we've missed out on a potential striker. So I think for me, we just need to get some quality bodies through the door for me to feel comfortable. I think there was certainly a few players out there who looked way off the mark, and I think that we just need a little bit more time. But we know as Argyle fans, as from last season, is that you don't have much time. You've got a lot of games, but not a lot of time. We need to pick up points fast to keep ourselves up there in the race and to keep ourselves safe. Because at this moment in time, far too early to tell. But we're definitely not in the firing squad. But yeah, we move on. We live and we learn, and hopefully see a better performance against our former manager next Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we will. I've got to stay positive. Let's look forward to it. Enjoy the journey up as well. Yeah, of course, tell everybody about the podcast as well would be appreciated. Obviously, go check Harvey's channel out. If you don't know, he's got way more fans and subscribers than we've got. We'll catch you up one day. But yeah, go check out Harvey England on YouTube. Just search. I mean, the algorithms. Yeah, of course, this is Harvey's channel. We know Harvey, but yeah, give him a sub and watch his content for post matches away or home. But Harvey, thanks for jumping on tonight. I appreciate it as always.
Thank you for having me on, guys. All the best.
Go easy, mate.
Guys.
So back to, let's just skip to the next slide. So how are we doing? So about 50 minutes in, excluding the countdown. So thanks, folks, for those that are still with us. Loads of comments coming in. Let me just put the chat overlay up again so you can all see those. So yeah, Spencer's gone. Cheers, Spencer. Great having you on and asking questions. He was busy in the chat tonight. Yeah, take it easy, buddy. I'm sure the Greens will get back winning for you again in the next game. So yeah, so lots of comments coming in. Like I said, people, I put them on to show you tonight because trying to keep up with it all is pretty mad. So it's great to see them though. The player stats. So I'm going to come to Emma on this one. So I said or felt after the game, Watts obviously star man, and that's quite clear with his 8.2 score here on FOTMob. This is where that's from. But Bradley Ibrahim really impressed me today, and he was out there second with 7.2.
I actually love him.
He just looked really calm and composed. He didn't panic. He played some brilliant balls. I mean, what was your thoughts on him and some of the other scores on here, Emma?
So Ibrahim. I think we saw against Bristol City. He's got a bit of spice about him, hasn't he? He likes to get in people's faces. He's quite confrontational. And he, at one point, he went to the keeper, the other team's keeper, and picked up his water bottle and just drank out of it and chucked it back in the goal. He's like got a load of swagger about him. I really like him. He can be a bit feisty. I think he's going to get a lot of yellows. I think people put money on him, didn't they, for getting a yellow card. That's probably a good bet every week. But yeah, really liked him. He's young. He's fast. He seems to be amongst it. I think he maybe struggled in the middle. I think Boateng didn't have a great game. He made a few mistakes, and I think then it left Ibrahim a bit exposed at times, and he did look a little bit out of his depth. But I think he's got potential to be really good. Like him and Watts linking up together was really good. Exciting. Yeah, they both like to get, as I said, amongst it and make a tackle and upset the opposition, which is what we need. We need like that nasty midfield that we haven't really had. Those people that are going to niggle at the other team.
Yeah, not stand for any excuse it, but crap either.
Yeah, but I mean, the worry is that he's going to get lots of cards, isn't it? You know, he's like a Jay Matete number 2. You're just going to get hundreds of yellow cards, and he'll end up getting suspended for a few matches or something. But yeah, he's got potential. I really liked him. I'm a bit worried about set pieces, to be honest. Have we still got a set piece coach?
No.
So the first free kick we had was Sorinola in the first half, if I remember correctly, which was shocking. And then it was like, don't take one again.
But then also like our throw-ins just seems to be Such doing a long throw each time. And obviously we didn't have the height on Barnsley at all. Like we haven't got the height, have we? I don't think we've got anybody that's taller than 5'9". And some of the players were getting frustrated. So definitely Watts and Amici got annoyed with Such keep on throwing it long all the time, because obviously they can't get on the end of it. They're not getting anything out of it. So I don't know whether that obviously needs to be changed. I don't know who's taking free kicks, like you said, whether it is Sorinola. I think Amici took a couple. I think Watts took a couple. Who's on corners as well? Did Barley take a corner? I don't think so.
I think Amici took a couple.
Yeah, matches.
It feels like they haven't really decided how that's working, which is a worry, isn't it? Like you would have thought pre-season would have been identifying how we're doing this, maybe having a few different set pieces already set up. But it's almost like last season where if we get a corner, I just used to like not even watch, because I was like, we're not going to score from a corner. Like we're not going to score in a month of Sundays. So the worry is that we are a very short team. Like I said, we haven't got a big Maxi or Katic or someone to come in and get the headers. I mean, Paulson's probably our tallest, but he I mean, I know he laid off that goal, but I'm just a bit worried that we don't have the set piece capabilities, unfortunately.
I think Matt Bevans is looking after set piece, from what I remember TC talking about earlier in the season. So another one of the coaches that he brought with him from his Watford cohort. So I think it's Matt Bevans, but it's certainly not tall ball guy standing on the edge of the technical area, waving his arms aimlessly under Miron. And then when it went well, going yay, and when it not going well, going I'll give up and sit down again.
Yeah, wanting to grab the attention. That's for sure. No, I think it. I'm just looking at a lot of the comments, and there's a lot, Emma, being thrown obviously at Poulsen. He's got a 7 straight 7 rating on FOTMob, which those that are listening, not watching, post might be really shocked by. I think the only one thing I'm going to say is I think just write the game off. And even cleverly said in his post-match, and we'll come to that on a slide summarising those the press conference. But it's just like, he said, both Souks and Poulsen have been brilliant in the training and in the sessions and when they've been playing the squad matches, so he said that, that was a shock tonight to see that. And I think we've just got to, sort of park it, see what happens. Bolton's a bit more tricky as it's away, but still we should expect to see a significant improvement, and it's a winnable game. And then the next game at home, or even if QPR, depends on what he mixes up in that cup game. So, yeah, it's one of those. But Boateng, you mentioned him just now, Emma. Boateng, for me, at the start, I think I was doing a little live stream on X, and I was like, I really want to see something from Boateng in this league because he's got the strength, he's got the ability, and it's like so he should really shine. And today, for me, he just didn't at all.
No, I think he looked a little bit lost at times. He had a few misplaced passes. He overcooked a couple of passes that went out a bit hard, a bit heavy. And he did pull out of a couple of challenges as well. I saw him kind of like go and then kind of hesitate. So I don't know whether he's just nervous of the physicality of it or whether he's just trying to work out where he fits in. I mean, like I said, him and Ibrahim didn't really kind of connect very much. So I don't know. And I think that's why he got hooked. Obviously, he got taken off, didn't he? So, they'll be having a chat about that. But yeah, I don't know. I think he looked better in pre-season. But again, it's very difficult, isn't it, to judge pre-season on when you actually start doing league matches. So it's only our first match, isn't it? So
yeah, I think cleverly, like you could see it. The look in his face in the post-match, he was sort of seething really with what I do with the situation, and I do think he is going to be a really good player. It's just he scored a silly own goal, and that's just really affected him, I think, and he just couldn't get himself composed. Carl, sort of looking at obviously I don't want to go through every single player here, but anything we've touched upon on it a lot already, but anything that jumps out to you that you want to add? No, sorry, he's on mute.
I'm muting, mate. He's only been
being a noisy little boy earlier, naughty boy. But yeah, you go. I've picked you back on now. Sorry.
Thank you. I've been asking for the past 20 minutes, but there you go.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring you. Go on then.
What was the question, mate? Sorry, I couldn't.
Because he was on mute.
I was on mute for so long.
Sorry, fair enough. I didn't know you couldn't still hear me. So, no, I was just saying, do you want anything? We've obviously talked a lot about the players in everybody's pieces at the start. Is there anything you want to add to bring into this further?
Just picking up on the Wiradoo thing. I think obviously he was really confident before the game, wasn't he? In his press conference, saying there was a goal in him. I didn't realise it was going to be on our own net, but there you go. I'm sure he will do one in our own goal, hopefully when we're attacking. But yeah, it was a poor debut. I didn't see that coming, to be honest. I thought he was the one that was looking the most promising in pre-season. He looked strong, something that we really were lacking last season, and yeah, that really threw me his performance. I don't think obviously when he scored the own goal, it completely and utterly shattered his confidence, and then the yellow card. You'd probably a walking tightrope then for a red if he stayed on much longer, because you don't know where his head is at that point. So it was the right decision for Cleverly to take him off. I'm sure he'll learn massively from that, and we'll probably see a different player completely against Bolton, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Andy, just to come to you now, one of the things I said to the guy sat next to me is that, you know, the sort of the discipline was a bit of a concern at times. Obviously, when we'd gone, you know, sort of a couple of goals down and all that lot, it just, you were like, my Lord, we're going to have not just injury problems, but we're going to have players with red card issues that are going to be a problem in a minute if we're not careful. So I like the aggression and I like the intensity. And I do love the fact that Weirdo just goes in there and he's like the Argyle doorman. That's like, you know, get out the way. No, you're not coming through. Leave him alone. But yeah, you just got to be just a little bit. I think that's where a true leader on the pitch, like Joe, would sort of deal with that and just go, calm it down, don't get yourself sent off.
Yeah, that's the danger, isn't it? I mean, Weirdo's got a lot of passion about him, and you know, when there was an incident just before half time, he was up the other end pulling, like you say, pulling players out of the thing, and you cannot put your hand on, you know, a player at that, you know, certainly above head height or just below shoulder height. You've got to be so careful there because that could be misconstrued as, you know, an attack or violence, whatever, and he could have been sent as well. So he's got, yeah, I love the passion. You know, I think the guy, yeah, had a stinker today, but he's a good player. He's not become a bad player. I just think we just had one of those off days. Expectation was high. The fans were up.
Slate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just have a clean slate from it, isn't it? At the end of the day, Gavin, just bring you in now, but also this comment from Just a Jano, who's been pitting a lot in the thread. So evening, mate. Anybody think the new starting team player info on the screen is way too long? I didn't look. The screen is slightly smaller. For those that haven't noticed that, I don't know if you saw that, Gavin, or anybody else put their hand up.
Put the comment back again because I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
That's right. So, hang on. Anybody think the new starting team player info?
On at the beginning, like the sort of WW. I was going to say F, but it's E now, isn't it? Style. Yeah, look at me. I'm the man. Kneel down. I thought it was fine actually.
I quite liked it. Yeah.
I liked it, right? But it was still playing when they were walking out on the pitch.
Yeah, I think
and then it was just like we were all cheering, and it was rubbish.
It was like the end of Jana, and then you're still having like the last guy go, yeah.
Well, they missed Semper Fidelis as well.
So I think they just need to get their match day timing to be better. They obviously haven't done that whole thing in the past because they only did the press day, I think, earlier this week. It looks like it's under the
media day. Yeah.
What happened to the stadium announcer, Gavin? Because he was going for it as well when he was announcing the names, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's a new guy. It's not because the other guy's been there for at least 10 years, I think.
Wasn't it the same guy?
I thought it was.
I thought
it might be the same guy, but if it is, then he's gone
pronouncing things a lot more theatrical, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, it was very very upbeat. Let's put it that way. There's nothing wrong with that, I suppose.
No.
Younger
new PA system, don't forget, as they announced at the forum. Yeah. So they were obviously just wanting to make the most of it.
But I have to say that the PA this year was sit above where I am. There was normally really tinny speakers, and you're like, oh, what's going on? But I thought it was brilliant.
I couldn't hear anything in the lower Mayflower. It was really bad. Really, really bad.
Oh, okay.
Was it? Yeah, well, with the more open areas and stuff, you're not going to resolve it fully, are you? I was debating whether or not, when I was live streaming at the pitch side, whether or not the speakers above were new or they were. It's just the back end stuff that's improved. But yeah, actually, it did sound like he was having getting right into it, trying to maybe like all of us. He was just so excited. I forget his name, so someone put it in the comments. So excited pre the kickoff. So yeah, right. What's on the next slide? So the match stats. Again, put my teeth back in. So again, from FOTMob. So 53-47 possession wise. Don't think I would argue too much with that. This is over the whole game. XGs for those that like all that stuff. Barnsley 1.6, ours was 1. Total shots, we had 15 to their 12, and shots on target 3 to their 7. So yeah, anybody want to shed anything or say anything about
the stats? I think the XG stats sort of speak for themselves to say that we have Keystone copped our way to 2 absolute blunders. One, the Phillips goal through the blocks. The volley is a very, very slim XG chance. I think he hits it so sweetly, but on another day that spear was off his foot and goes miles wide. And obviously you wouldn't expect a nothing ball coming into the box to have one of our best midfielders slotting it home for the wrong end. So I think the XG stats seem about right. two big chances. Well, I'm assuming that's our goal and
the disallowed.
No, that won't include his stats. I imagine it's the header from Watts that's tipped over the bar.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it was on target. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, how often do we get over 1 XG with Muslich?
Oh, we did. It was 0.2, 0.3 regularly. So I think that's where let's all dust ourselves down a little bit here and have a cold shower. Those who are still bedwetting, I've just put another $3,000 on
I knew it was coming.
PG. So thanks for that, because I'm sure I'm going to get lots of sheets to wash over the weekend. The sale of 1,000 person will go up dramatically. But I don't think we played bad football. We just had three horrendous defensive brain farts. That's it. It's move on. So, have we got a deep squad? No. Right? Yeah. Do we need a 9? Yes. But are we shit? No. Not in a nutshell.
No, it's just wiping the slate clean for that sort of game, isn't it? And I've come onto the slide for post-match reaction now from Caleb Watts. I'll stick with you briefly, Gavin, because obviously you touched upon it at the start. He did obviously the post-match player of the match interview in hospitality, and he echoed really a lot of what he said. But his key points: frustration, but optimism. The players were feeling it at full time, and they know that they're better than that, and I do feel there's a really good togetherness in this squad, and Foxy, alluded to that when it was talked about, even his time here in the forum on Thursday, feeding off the fans. He loved the atmosphere, the home attendance. It's great, and obviously scoring that goal. He said to his mates, I think he said he was going to get 2 today or something, and in theory did. Versatility and missed chances, questionable decisions. He was very critical of the just seeing Voodoo's comment. He was very critical of the officials, to the point actually very honest with that in both hospitality and in the post-match presser. So he's probably, Caleb got a fine coming his way, but there you go. He said there's unwavering confidence. He said that they can see that they are going to cause teams a lot of trouble this season, and I think that's what I took away from the game, as I alluded to earlier, and felt positive about. Gavin, anything more to add from what he said in your?
He came up and obviously need lots of this is season 5, I think, of being in Diamond. So you've seen lots and lots of these, right? And normally, when you lose, thanks, Voodoo, for that. When you, that's a running joke. If anyone who's not listened before, he's always correcting my grammar. When you see these guys come up and we lose, they're normally really sheepish and they can't wait to get off the stage, and they do their, hold the shirts up, shake your hands, bugger off. He came up. He was very articulate, very confident. I won't miss any more like that this season. I can promise you. I've got plenty of goals in me. We're a good side. We've got plenty of goals in us. We're not going to have such bad defensive displays again. We'll put it to bed and we'll go and beat Bolton. It's pretty much what he said. And you go, oh, okay. And he comes up in his specs, so he might be the Graham Lasso of the side. He might have actually read a paper once and had an education. Therefore, he's probably going to get slated. But he came up looking very articulate, very, very confident, held the room well, spoke really well with Gaz, who does very good interviews, obviously being an ex-player, and then went on his merry way down to the press conference and said it all again. So I think that doesn't look like a team, going back to TC's comments around this is only a bad thing if the confidence drops and we don't learn from it. I don't see that from him. Showing that we're sort of doom and gloom and the bottom lip's dragging off the stage as he walks back down towards the players' lounge.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was pleased. Everything we just said, basically. So coming on to not wanting to repeat even myself. Coming on to, just a Jana just pit. Caleb outshone above everyone today combined, but that begs the view of an ex-Exeter player. Doing that, will Exeter have more hidden gems when we play them? With a bit of a
sign if we do.
Emoji. So, but Tom Cleverley's post-match reaction. Zoo Corner with one. I spoke to Watts the other day, and he is very intelligent. He's a very intelligent man. I love his glasses, by the way. Speaks very posh. I was shocked when he opened his mouth. I wasn't expecting it at all. Love that. Cheers.
He's Graham Lasso of our side. definitely.
Graham Lasso.
Do you remember that when he used to get absolutely hammered for like reading the newspaper and having an education? That they were hammered him for it anyway.
God, that's going back. Yeah, blimey. So Tom Cleverley's post-match reaction summarised up defensive lapses obviously cost dearly. He was clearly and said how disappointed he was with that. It's not what he's seen from, as I highlighted earlier, with Zooks and Poulsen in particular, but just that back line. Showing fight but lacking control. He said praised them for their work ethic, but unforced errors obviously let them off. The hook, Barnsley, that is. Fans deserve more, but there's hope as well. You know, he appreciates the fan support. So that would have been great for him as well today. I mean, not, you know, it's awful getting your first game and getting a defeat, but, you know, at times he could hear, you know, again for himself that atmosphere at home park. So, yeah, lessons to be learned, of course. Tactical flexibility. He spoke about choosing Watts over Aseni. He didn't feel Aseni was there yet, even though he is that more more positional centre forward. But you know, I sort of alluded to this the other day, either in one of my own videos or in the chat with the guys as well. You know, Plaguey said to us when he was on the show that a lot of these youngsters really keen to prove themselves, you know, because they're sort of forgotten forward players, and they've come in and it's really lifted the squad, and there's a lot of competition. You can see their energy, and I think that was quite clear in the game and also with his post-match. But yeah, reinforcements on the way. So he did allude to the fact that we would probably, we still need at least 3 players, a centre-back, which, and I forget the person who posted it now, I put it on the screen, earlier said that we probably need a centre-back more than actually we need a striker, and probably wouldn't disagree with that based on today's performance alone, but hoping that that is just that one-off. So yes, and obviously he was alluding to the striker situation with Dale Taylor and saying it. Look, there is not an issue with money and sorting that out. It's just it's got to, you know, sort of be on both sides. And it sounded like then maybe Dale Taylor was sort of taking the time to decide: does he want Blackpool? Does he want us?
Maybe he just prefers Blackpool Tower than Smeaton's Tower, by the sounds of it.
Well, oh, and also speaking of Smeaton's
especially now he's seen the Block 9 version.
Yeah, go and check out took that this morning when I was up on the Hoe, and then I added our logo and Argyle's and changed it to green, of course. So that's free if you want to go and download a nice wallpaper for your phone. So yeah, Carl, anything have you seen Tom Cleverley's post?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, so go on, fire away.
I thought it was a very honest interview. You can tell he was disappointed with the defensive mistakes. Yeah, it's just a refreshing change from the Miron interviews that we're used to, and fighting and being stronger and this and that. He could kind of cover over the cracks a little bit, but I thought Tom was very honest. He didn't kind of let the defenders off the hook. He did kind of let them know they had a bad performance, which hopefully they would have listened to, and I'm sure he would have said that full time as well in the dressing room. And the boys seem to be honest enough that hopefully they'll put it right. But yeah, I really enjoyed the interview and the post match one as well, the press conference. And again, like Zukorn has said, Watt speaks really well, very articulate, very knowledgeable, very likable, very positive. Everyone that we've kind of signed that I've listened to are very positive. Peppo as well. We were doing his interview. They all seem like an honest bunch of lads, and I think the dressing room is the right mix at the moment. We just need to add to it, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. No, it was good. It was good.
Just to say, sorry, the Nixon thing. Check the private message. Looks like it's 1 million plus add-ons, which means that we've still got 1 million plus add-ons to spend on someone. Whether that is, I don't know. I'm sure.
No, we haven't got the money, Gavin. We haven't got the money. We should be opening the accounts left, right, and centre and chucking it.
My tweet of the week for me, which made me giggle the most, but obviously no one on Twitter thinks I'm funny. Which is fine. Was Jane Hallett and Simon Hallett's nose having scrapes on from the how close they're sleeping to the ceiling with Artex now because they've got all the money stuffed under the mattress. That I thought was hilarious, but obviously I'm the only one with a sense of humour in my world. So no, they're not hoarding the money, and I think we need to bring Ninja Matt on for an accounts lowdown for a live after the accounts announced.
So just quickly, if it's not the money, what is it? Because there seems to be
it's clearly got nothing to do with the board or nothing to do with it's just a purely for, I imagine, for them. I mean, it might even be for them as simple today as Taylor watched both games and went, I'd much prefer to play for a team that won 3-1 against.
I wouldn't have thought it's the case of that, as you don't make your decision and your future livelihood on one game.
Well, mate, he's a footballer. Let's be honest. He's got that 3 brain cells rattling around his head.
I think if any player was down to sign for us that watched that game, being a striker, I would have thought that he would have liked what he saw, especially our attacking play.
It's clearly not cash, right? So there's something.
Well, but we don't know that it's clearly not cash.
Right. So hang on, Jet. So
whatever it is, but we what I was about to go on and say was Tom Randall and Dave Fox now must have a what we on plan D or E. They must be going for them now. As we speak, emails must be going out the door. Something probably for your tales from later.
Yeah, well, it certainly will make for an interesting episode when I start drafting that tomorrow. Look, I think I get what you're saying, Carl, and obviously it's the one thing that everybody sort of seems to go to. We're not offering the right money and stuff, and it is a big decision for someone, and there's going to be reasons why, a number of reasons why they're going to choose one place over the other at the end of the day. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, they're still not great, are they? I don't believe, but Blackpool were proper in trouble. So it's just one of those where I really felt, and those that, I mean, obviously Gavin, Carl and Andy, Carl, Andy and I were there. Gavin couldn't make it because he's doing his own negotiating deals at the minute. I just felt, do you know what? It was honest, and there is money there to do it. They are not rushing it. I go back to my Bloomfield comment after the Luton game last night. They spent the whole of the summer trying to find their striker, and they've got more than enough money if they wanted to pay someone. So I don't think that is the ultimate. Coming all this way down here, David Fox and Simon both talked on this point. They're traveling away. Some players just don't like that. You've got to be really together as a group, and it can really bring you together. When you knowing that you are going to be spending 6-7 hours on the coach, staying in hotels a lot more than normal. But that has its benefits as well with discussing tactics and stuff and having everybody's attention. So. Look, we've just got to wait, see what happens. Sorry, Carl?
I was just about to say that, Voodoo. He's put a comment up.
Oh, is he? Yeah, he obviously hasn't been to Blackpool recently yet. Well, there you go. Again, he will probably not be too bothered when he's looking at his bank account, a bit like Hardy at Wrexham with all the players that are coming in for them. And who knows? Maybe there could be a loan deal for Hardy to come back. So let's just see what happens. I mean, it could well be that we don't get lucky for the window to actually purchase someone, and it may well be that the loans become an option. That's for sure. What have I got on the next slide? So I quite clearly gave my score prediction, and that was pretty shocking. Quite the opposite. No one got it right effectively. Emma went 2-1. Finley. So Argyle News Hub, before I forget, because I haven't put a slide on it. So there's a young lad, a 16-year-old who's wanting to aspire to be a sports journalist. We got another one in Herbie that some of you would have seen on the show. He runs the Argyle News Hub, X and Instagram. He also does have TikTok and that as well. And so I spoke to him about partnering up with me to help me do the little news bulletins that I put out there, because sometimes I forget to check the AI.
Emma's very good on that, I have to say, Mike.
Say again?
Emma's very good on that.
Absolutely. I mean, she comes round. We got the studio set up, all the mics. So he pits a lot of great Argyle content out. So go follow the account. Like I said, it's at Argyle News Hub. So he gives me a draft of the past week's news, which I wrap into the bulletins through the AI and produce that little short clip. So it's there for those that like to sort of listen to the news in that sort of way and keep in touch with things where they can't easily throughout the day. So that's Finley. I'm sure we'll get him on here at some stage as well. Harvey went with a 1-1 draw. Andy, you went 2-0. Steve went 2-1. Like I said, I went 3-0. Marcus was 2-1. Carl 3-1. Well, just the reverse. Herbie went 1-0 and Gavin 2-1. So yeah, none of us got that right.
How funny though that none of us chose Watts to score, and he was the most likely to score all match. So
we never expected it. Like Gavin said when it was being announced, like that threw everybody off, thinking it would be a Senny then coming in as the number 9. So Yeah, so there we go. We were all rubbish on that one.
What do we know?
So I'm not going to touch on the forum tonight because that's another half an hour. We'll do that Thursday on the live lounge for those. We'll give a bit more context. And Finley is watching tonight, so he has just put in the comments there. So thanks, Mike. So there we go. Go check him out. Zoo Corner, what's he pitting? This is probably going to be funny. Apparently Taylor can't drive, so would need an airport to use to see family, and we don't have one. That's why he's picked Blackpool.
Open the airport. Open the airport.
Yeah, that's it. Come on, councillor. We're on to our Block 9 Argyle, Plymouth Argyle 24-25 shirt giveaway. So we picked that competition out after the last live, and we've run that for the week. So you had to obviously follow us. Sorry, we had to force that upon you. You had to follow us, retweet the post, and tag a friend in the comments. So we went through, and by random scrolling with my mouse cursor in a fixed position, and I chose a winner. So I haven't got any sort of sound effect drum roll, but yes, Chloe Kelly up front, Carl Pitton in the in the chat.
Can't be any worse at this point.
So we don't know if this person will be watching, and maybe I should have had that clock tick down like all the TV shows do, just to draw out the announcement even longer. Right,
the countdown clock.
So the winner is. So we have Sean. This is his profile page. So Sean 3676442. As you can see, he does follow us. As you can see, he retweeted the post, and yes, he did tag a friend in. I will add his friend doesn't follow us. So, I mean, you need to have a word, Sean, now you've won the top. But yes, so Sean, please get in touch with us. We will post this out as well if he doesn't get in touch within the next 24 hours. So we can, Emma's going off to get another Amazon parcel. So, yeah, well done to you. So you will get that shirt. Gavin and I will sort that out. We can either... Ideally, if you're based in Plymouth at the game, would love to give it to you. I know we're a bit of away from that yet, but if not, we will sort out and post it to you. So well done to you, Sean. So right, let me go back to the presentation deck. So right, what have I got next on here? Yeah, we just mentioned it just now. Fix. That's one of your side accounts. You wanted it for yourself.
Zoo Corner. I love it.
Brilliant. So we touched upon it just now. Tales from the Block. Please go check it out. I do put a lot of effort in, and so it would be appreciated. I mean, just tell me if it's rubbish, right? And I'll stop doing it. Save me a few hours because it does take a bit of time. But I shall be working on the next episode I'd fit it in somehow tomorrow. So we're driving up to Gloucester to hand over the kids for a week. Pretty much of peace, bless them. I do love you lots and lots to their grandparents. But yes, I will aim to start churning that out tomorrow evening. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of an interesting one on how I decide to mix that up. There's a QR code there if you're watching on your PC and you scan it, or you can just go and search for it on. That's the image you're looking for when you search for Block 9 podcast for Tales from the Block. So there was Andy,
wasn't it, in his playing days when he was in 1934.
I had hair then.
And a great tash too. So Stephen Cooper just put in the hang on, where am I going here? There we go. Just said, the polo shirt's ready. I still haven't quite finished it. I've got the mugs. I'll come on to that in a second. This is in my summary slide here. Can you give us a shout, either block9podcast@gmail.com, just so I can get your details and pick up with you. Yeah, I've got it on. No, I don't have it on. Actually, I have a different one on tonight. But yes, I'm trying to finalise it all. And I think with a bit of peace without the kids next week, I should be able to sort that out. So send us a message. I do have some new mugs. So did some just before leaving the house today, or the wife applied it onto the mugs as she does. Let me just pick myself up on the big screen a minute so you can see what I'm talking about. Go on, Carl. So no offense, Carl. So that's the similar design, but it's got the new sort of home park background with a faded back. And then we have this one, which is a full color because the wife said full color looks better. I prefer the lighter, but there you go. And that's got the logo in the middle. And the one that actually Andy agreed with my wife, unfortunately for me, he wants the one with the new background in color with the two logos. So I haven't even got them photographed yet because they were the mock-ups that we've done, but I'll be getting Andy's proper one done and sent out. So I'm getting there with some of this, but it does help doing the merch, and if you sort of willing to contribute, it does help towards funding this. There is costs associated with doing what we do, and so it all helps. Buy a beer every now and then for us. So there's the mugs. Zoo Corner, what's he saying in the chat? Not having it. He's my favorite presenter. Are you calling Carl a mug? So anyway, I was. Let me go back to the presentation. So wow. So decent one tonight. It's a shame that it wasn't really on the positive side that we were obviously all hoping for, but we appreciate all 800 odd of you that are in the show now watching, and brilliant comments. Just too many to try and read out tonight. Stephen saying, keep the pod going. It's a great thank you guys and ladies. We do like to mix it up. Emma's struggled because work shifts as a paramedic, a bit like Carl in care. So it's like a balancing act of getting them on. I'm just trying to check now. So I will be on for next Saturday's game. I'm going away with the family in August, so I will miss the next home game. The next league home game. I should be able to make QPR, but I won't be doing that Thursday live lounge, but I will be here next Saturday too. Next week we will start the live lounge back on the Thursday at 8:30 as well. So that's going back to that slot. For those that don't know, we always did a Thursday live lounge towards the end of the season. We introduced that one in, and then we obviously had the lives on Sunday. We've rearranged it now. They are close together, but we still enjoy the Thursday. It's a bit more of a relaxed approach to things. We might bring a bit more analysis in from games. We might have obviously some guests on. Spoke to Chris Errington at the forum. He's happy to come on, and he can tell us a bit about his career as well as a sports journalist for the likes of Herbie and Finley to learn from. So we like to just throw a few different things on that one. And then Saturday nights though is our new slot, as you can tell, for the post match. So I'm going to go to final thoughts now. So I'm going to go left to right. Emma, give us your final thoughts.
It's not time to panic. We've still got time, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we sort this all out, and hopefully get some signings in the window.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Gavin, your final thoughts tonight?
I was just reflecting on the first game of the season last year under a certain Waynus Runus. It was his last name, that is, by the way. And I felt far more dejected having been walloped 4-0 by quite an average Sheffield Wednesday side than I do today, having lost 3-1 for 3 brain farts from defenders or goalkeeper against Barnsley. So I'm happy. I still think, like most of the fan base, we need some more quality in. But there will be one thing for certain: those that were around when Schumacher was around are going to put an extra 10% in their stride next Saturday at the Tough Shit Stadium, or whatever it's called these days, up in Bolton.
Oh, I love it. Andy, your final thoughts, mate?
I think in the words of Corporal Jones, don't panic, Mr. Mandarin. No, I think we're going to be okay. We're just going to be patient with Klebs and what he's trying to bring to the club. He's going to bring his own players in, and the players who actually want to play for the club, not the people that just want to have the dollar. Yeah. So don't panic, guys.
Yeah, and also, Carl, as I come to you, but just quickly, just checking what's Pilgrim Petey asking for. Evening, mate. He is saying, quick question: how many signings do you think we need? Or go on, Carl.
Ideally 4. A centre back, a centre mid. Now I do agree we need another centre mid, left midfield, and obviously that number 9.
Yes.
So I do take it back, Gavin. Now I still think we need.
I'm so happy you said that.
I am eating humble pie. I still think we need another experienced head in the middle of the park. So I do agree with you now, Gavin.
Thank you.
That's not to say that Wiradu's not going to come good, but I think if someone has a poor game or an injury, then I think we would struggle. So I do agree with that now. Clearly a centre back we're clearly missing. I mean, even potentially 2 centre backs. I don't think any of them showed any quality at all today. And obviously a left midfielder and a striker. But final thoughts, I'm going to Bolton away, so hopefully...
you did say.
Yeah, making the decision to drive up. I don't know if that's a good call or not.
You going up on your own?
No, I'm going up with Philip.
I
might chicken out and get the bus up. I don't know. It's quite a long drive up to Bolton, isn't it? I just hope we can improve. Well, obviously improve defensively up at Bolton. It's not going to be, and again, it's not going to be an easy game. Hopefully by next Saturday we'll have a striker, and a centre back in, and I think I'll be feeling a lot more confident going into that game then with a few extra additions.
Oh, Steve's coming in with at the end there.
6 players. You will never get 6 players.
2 centre backs, a goalkeeper, a centre mid, and 2 strikers. Well, you never know. I mean, they might just come out.
Does he think we're fucking Chelsea or something?
He was selling Bam Bam.
Oh, bless. So yeah, look, we'll. By the way, Carl, Gavin was saying that he might look to come up with you. I don't know if you were just trying to ignore him because you're like, oh, I don't want.
Yeah,
to
he was like, I'm not
sorry.
spending more than 30 minutes with him, let alone 6 hours in a car.
Well, there's going to be a game at some point where these guys might have to share the same car with both of us, Gavin, which is just going to probably be horrendous for them if that ever comes
It will be like that sequence out of The Aeroplane where they're like dousing themselves, setting themselves on fire, stabbing themselves, shooting them in the head.
Yeah, like we could be bottom of the league and it'd be the worst performance away ever. They still would see that as better than spending time.
We'll never forget our day at Stoke, mate. We'll never forget.
No, exactly. No, it's good.
No shit house, and then getting stopped for snow on the way home. It's lovely.
Yeah, and yes, the crazy pilgrim weather traffic update.
Yeah, Michael Fish.
Yeah, well, yeah.
God, yeah. Carl's jokes are still as good as ever. And I must admit, I am also equally looking to try and get to a few more away games because I forgot how much I enjoyed it in the buzz. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you on the road too. So yeah, that's it for tonight, folks. So look, not what it was meant to be at the end, but it's not all down and out. So thank you everybody for coming on and watching. If you don't already, please give us a follow and reshare and retweet the video live at the end. It all helps. It will be up on the podcast channels. If I can stay up to do it tonight, I'm not feeling too bad. So I'll probably get that done. And yeah, other than that, look, we'll catch up with you on Thursday's live lounge. Let's see if we do get any players in. We'll still probably be miserable about that. But yeah, just check in the private chat. What's that? Oh yeah, that's fine. So look, folks, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you again soon.
Take care, everyone.